Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is FU Midi the 4th. Welcome to the big show. We're kicking things off with a shuffler special. We're one land short of being able to play out our synthesizer and the cornucopia. Getting a factory down will give us a scry and possibly help find even more ammo. Risky, but keep. We draw a third land, and we're in it to win it. Now all we need is time and opportunity. They play out a plains, so they're not on mono red. That's an impact tremors they're playing out. It's pretty good with token generators, which I suspect will be in the very near future. It's time to play out our factory, and check out our top two cards. On top we have a glimpse and the family station wagon. We'll send the glimpse on down, the welcome wagon will fetch us out a land. They play out a forge, nifty little deck they've got, but we've got overlords on the way, and we hope we can get them big enough to block their forge token and survive. For now, we might have to eat some damages. Eat them like a pie. This turn will play out the Horn of Plenty. It's more mana as well as a bit of life gain, which could end up making a difference near the end of the game. They play out a war leader's call. They're on the phone to the damages department and asking for more ways to dish out the pain. That will boost their tokens, but I think it's very likely we can grow our robot overlords larger than their tokens. To do that, we will have to take this 3 spot. Although we can play out the glimpse, the welcome wagon is the best play. We'll get another robot overlord and a vehicle that can fetch us out more lands when we swing in with it. They go for a second forge, but that one will be far behind our robot overlords. It might as well not exist. But for the splash damage, the token will hit us with thanks to their enchantments. They follow up the forge with an Annabelle, the freaky doll. This turn is going to be very painful, but we'll get through it. An untapped 6th land might save us. Let's get it down and we can fire off the season. 'Tis the season for beatings. We will copy and draw one. We'll copy the synthesizer and we'll also copy the Horn of Plenty. This way we'll have 7 mana on our next turn. On top we have another synthesizer and a scry land. We'll ship the temple, but hang on to the factory. The time has come to go in for damages. We'll crew up the power wagon and send it in along with the pair of robot overlords. That's going to be GG's. We've got lethality no matter how they block. It hurts so good. This is Danny. No wait, it's Zany. Look at your arms. How do you wipe, bro? We get another shuffler special, but this time around we have a pal who can get us to 3 mana in time to play out the synthesizer. Keep your pants on. We get a third land, so even if they snipe our pal, we can still play out the synthesizer. But if we keep our pal, that'll be enough mana to make a synthesizer copy with 3 steps ahead. They do snipe our pal, but we've secured a third land, and we can still play out our factory on schedule. On top we have a helm and a forest. We'll keep both and in that order. They play out a carrot cake and get a rabbit token. That's nice and all, but our tokens will be a bit bigger. We'll play out the helm. It's a good setup for our future turns, as it will help make our robot overlords bigger faster. They play out a lockdown, which will deal with our tokens, but you all know that we don't make just one robot overlord. There will be more on the way. Let's play out the family station wagon to get us another land. If we can fire off our season, that could end the game. They must have more tokens on the way. The talent require tokens for it to create an advantage. They must be out of removals. Our robot overlord survives to see the end of their turn. Our scry land shows us another land on top, but we'll send it on down. We'll send our robot overlord in for damages, but they fire off a removal. It's tempting to make a copy, but let's hold off, and we'll make a token copy of our synthesizer at the end of their turn. They play out the newest Chundra, which is fine. They're down to one card in hand, and they're about out of ammo while we're about to go nuts. They make a vehicle token, which is a surprise. I guess that does get them another card, but their vehicles are rather small. Chundra crews up one of their vehicles. If they send it, we'll eat it with a surprise synthesizer, and the robot overlord will generate. This turn will play out the Cornucopia, but first, let's make another synthesizer token. Our robot overlord will get swole, especially after we play out the Horn of Plenty. That's over 100 damages on board. They'd better have a 1 mana removal. Their pants exploded, keep them on, bro. Also GG's. This is Malcor and their Tron cycle. How do the wheels stay on? We get a 3-lander this time, with a Smelf and a Glimpse for ramping. The helm is alright, but the season is a super bonus if we draw into something we really want to copy. Keep your pants on. Can you Smelf what we're cooking, bro? They probably have no clue. They might be on mono black, which is extremely vulnerable to our artifact plans. They snipe our Smelf, but now we know they're playing a removal that's not going to be effective against some of our men. Oh wait, we drew a Sanctum. Let's play it out and we can fire off the Glimpse to fetch out another land. No way, we drew a Synthesizer. You know we gotta fire up the factory for our boy over there. What is Mono Black going to do about a Synthesizer? Spoiler alert, all they can do is soil their trousers. On top we have a land and a Horn of Plenty. We'll ship the land, but the horn equals a robot overlord. They land a bat, which is fine, but it's not going to stop our inbound AI. They take our season but leave us the helm. We were a couple of turns away from being able to fire it off, so no big loss. Our scry land shows us a 3 steps ahead on top. We'll keep it as that's a synthesizer copy in the future. They play out a Lily, and it's likely we're about to lose our first Robot Overlord, but we've got ways to generate more.
Sacrifices must be made.
We'll play out the Helm. And we can use the map token, but let's hold on to our artifacts. Sure, we are about to lose our 3 steps ahead, but we can keep generating Robot Overlords thanks to the Helm. They fire off an edict to take out our Robot Overlord, but that's where the Helm comes in. We can make a copy and still have board presence. You know they hate to see it. They play out a bat to take our 3 steps ahead. Then they activate Lily. Maybe should have just done that first. Go ahead and toss a card, bro. We got nothing to get rid of. We draw the welcome wagon, but we do have to try to take out Lily. Let's send in our Robot Overlord first and see what they do. Amazingly, they block. They clearly have no idea how our deck works. They are giving us back our way of making a synthesizer token, which we can keep duplicating with the Helm. They are done. They go for another bat, but we'll use our 3 steps ahead before they have a chance to take it. On top we have a glimpse and another Helm. We are on course to make a pile of synthesizers. They burn out Lily to force us to sacrifice a Robot Overlord, but before we do that, let's make a 3rd synthesizer. We're going to go heavy with the cheese. On top we have a pair of artifacts. It really doesn't matter at this point. It could have been a pair of lands, and we'd have kept them on top. 1/1 bats versus huge Robot Overlords. I think I like our chances. They pull the ejection handle and get the fork out. GG's extra cheese. This is Baby Young. He was born in the summer of '95. He's been pooping ever since. We get a 3-lander with some ramp, a Helm, and a 3 steps ahead. Our earliest play will be on turn 3, so we'll need the Scry land to show us something good. Keep. Our Scry land shows us a synthesizer. That's just fine. That is back-to-back mountains without any plays. It's that slow burn mono-red apparently. They drop a duo of the damaging kind. There is a reason why this card isn't played more often. Let's go for our factory, and we can start making Robot Overlords on our next turn. On top we have a Horn of Plenty and a Season. Both good cards, but let's get the Cornucopia first. They hit our factory with an Abrade, and that being a non-creature spell, we're also about to eat some damages. It's time for our Power Wagon to fetch us out a land. We should be able to get to 7 mana to be able to play out our Tyrant, and this will be the first step. We'll land a Horn of Plenty this time around. It's a great way to counteract the damages they're dishing out. They play out a Vacuum and are going to prepare to suck it, like sucking is good. We draw a land, which is great, and we can follow up with our second Horn of Plenty. Now we'll have the mana for the Tyrant on our next turn. We have enough for a second station wagon, so we'll drop it too. The life gain should make things more complicated for them. A Brotherhood's End is a setback I did not see coming. We've gone down to only 6 mana. We luck out and draw a synthesizer. Let's play it out, and we can follow up with the Helm and generate a Robot Overlord. The AI are relentless, clear them out and they keep coming. They go for an Abrade, but this time we have the mana to counter. On top we have a forest, and a season. We'll get the forest first, as that will get us to Tyrant mana. They smash our synthesizer with another Abrade. But they won't find our Tyrant so easy to deal with. It's time for our Tyrant to come down and run the table. They'll need a bunch of removals to be able to take it down. They play out a count on luck, but if you ask me, they have run out of luck. We draw a second Tyrant, but this turn belongs to the season. 'Tis the season for multiple Tyrants on board. We'll copy and draw a card. The Tyrants refuel our hand as well as our life total. All their hard work has been flushed down the crapper. Our next step is to flush their life total down as well. They play out a blocker, but to survive our attack, they're going to have to block with both of their men. We're going to clear their board out when we swing in. It's starting to smell like GG's. Extra cheese. No need to do anything, let's just get in there. They're going to have to block up like champs, there's no way around it. We'll play out our synthesizer and prepare to smash with Robot Overlords if they are able to deal with our dynamite. They take down a token with a removal. Then they flip their guy, but that's not going to be able to block since it enters tapped. They fire off more damage at our remaining token, but it's not enough to kill. Then they burn their last card for the killing blow, but we'll stop things there. That's going to be GG's. All they can do now is take 12 to the face. This is Ugly 010. I'm gonna have to agree with you, bro. We get a Shuffler special with 3 mana men, as well as a synthesizer, and a 3 steps ahead. This looks pretty good. Keep your pants on. We should have played out the Sanctum first, but that's okay. We'll play out a pal on our second turn. They smell what the croc is cooking. That's a big beastie for only 3 mana. We are definitely going to want to draw into cards to trigger our synthesizer if they're going with big men. We draw into an untapped land which will play out. This way we can drop our synthesizer and play out our Smelf as well. On top we have a pair of lands, which is not the ammo we're looking for. Let's ship them both. They snipe our pal with a hunter's talent, but as long as we can hang on to 4 mana, we should be alright. We draw the family station wagon, which we should play out. But first let's scry with our land, and on top we have a glimpse. We'll send it on down. Our first Robot Overlord is not big enough to block their guy. We'll need more artifact men if we want to compete with their monster. They level up their talent, which will give them card draw at the end of their turn. We don't have much card draw, but we do have a token copy of our synthesizer in hand. The instant kind. We draw another 3 steps ahead, so we'll hold off on doing anything this turn. They go for a primeval bounty, the heavy enchantment that makes token men, pumps their existing men, and gains them life. Sure bro, all yours. At the end of their turn we'll copy up. On top we have a Cornucopia and a pal. We'll send the pal on down, but the Cornucopia is another pair of Robot Overlords. Let's send them in. Damages bro, damages. They play out a bristly bill, and they get a token as well. They're small men and only road bumps for our AI. They land a passage, and we'll get to see their deck hard at work. They beef up their monster, but it's still undersized if it wants to tangle with our robot men. They awaken the woods and get a small squad. Their monster has grown pretty big as well, and they keep making it bigger. Something about putting your eggs in one basket? Aren't they afraid of breakage? This looks like a good old-fashioned standoff. The one who attacks first is the one who loses. Anyways, we've got factories to make and Robot Overlords to generate. On top we have 2 lands which will have to go the bottom. We draw a Cornucopia which equals 3 more Robot Overlords. Let's crew up the bandwagon and then send it in along with our big pile. We blinked first. They can only afford to let 1 Robot Overlord through, so they need to block up. We'll take out most of their team and leave only the Smelf and their Hydra. They flip their freakish Hydra and make it bigger. It's gotten pretty big, but even with trample, it's not enough to take us down. They snipe one of our blockers, but we've got one left. Let's block up and take only 2. They know they won't survive our attack, and scoop it up. GG's. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.